Hello, grade 8 learner. Welcome to another mathematics video lesson. For this lesson, we will be learning how to factor binomials, which are difference of two squares. This is a factoring technique that can be used on special types of polynomials like these binomials. It's another great day to learn, so get ready with your pen, paper, and module, and let's start learning. This lesson is based on the K-12 curriculum learning competency. The learner completely factors different types of polynomials. At the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to recognize binomials in the form of difference of two squares, follow the steps in factoring the difference of two squares, and apply the method of factoring the difference of two squares on binomials. Let's begin with the lesson. After knowing how to factor polynomials using the greatest common monomial factoring, the factoring method that you need to learn about next is how to factor binomials, especially those in the form of the difference of two squares. These types of binomials can be factored out by following a pattern as shown here. The resulting factors of these binomials are a sum and difference of the two terms being squared. Take a look at the following examples. Before, however, you can use the pattern on the binomial that you are given, you must first check if the binomial that you are factoring is a difference of two squares. So before you solve for the factors of this expression, take a look at it first. Is it a binomial? As you can see, it is. Is the operation in the binomial subtraction? Or is the sign that separates the two terms the minus sign? Yes, it is. And then finally, are both of the terms in the binomials perfect squares? That's what we have to find out. Let's check if the terms in our binomial are perfect squares. A term is called a perfect square if it can be expressed as the product of two equal or same expressions. In this example, we have x squared and 49. To check if they are perfect squares, let's take a look at their factors. For x squared, both factors are x. For 49, both factors are 7. So, are x squared and 49 perfect squares? Yes, they are. So now that we know that the binomial we are solving follows the form of the difference of two squares, we can now use the pattern. Let's take a look at the pattern that we have to follow. X squared and y squared represent the terms of the binomial, and that's what we are factoring out. The factors will follow the pattern the quantity x plus y times the quantity x minus y, where x and y represent the square roots of the terms of the binomial. In factoring x squared minus 49 then, we follow the pattern. Don't forget the roots of the terms that we have identified previously. So we have x squared minus 49, which is equal to the quantity x plus 7 times the quantity x minus 7. Those are our factors for the binomial. Good job in following the process. Let's take a look at another example to further understand the process. Let's factor 4d squared minus 16. To begin solving, we have to check the binomial first if it is a difference of two squares. Remember that we cannot use the pattern if the binomial is not a difference of two squares. So first, is the polynomial a binomial? Check. Is the operation in the binomial subtraction? Check. And then finally, are both the terms perfect squares? Do a little bit of solving to check this. Let's get the square root of each term in the binomial. Since 2d multiplied to itself is 4d squared, we can say that the square root of 4d squared is 2d. Following the same pattern, since 4 times itself is 16, then we can say that the square root of 16 is 4. Don't forget this. We are going to use 2d and 4 in our pattern later because they are the roots of the terms in the binomial. Now that we know what the roots of the terms are, we now substitute them in our pattern. Given our original binomial, which is 4d squared minus 16, this is equal to its factors, which are the quantity 2d plus 4 and the quantity 2d minus 4. Were you able to follow the process now? Very good. If you still have questions, you can always rewind this video, read your module, or ask your teacher. Your learning is and always will be within your reach if you just take it. Before we end this lesson, of course we have to practice what you have learned. Pause this video for a while as you solve for the factors of the binomial 36x squared minus 4y squared. Be honest and don't skip ahead to the answer. Done? Did you get as factors the quantity 6x plus 2y times the quantity 6x minus 2y? Very good if you did. Good job! Congratulations for finishing this video lesson. We hope we have made the process a little clearer for you at least. Learning this will definitely make the next lessons a bit easier for you. Here's a quote from the famous writer Maya Angelou. Nothing will work unless you do. And definitely, to master a skill, you always have to work for it. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you on our next video lesson.